Hey, good morning, guys. Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, founder of I Am the Possible and your self-worth specialist. I want to welcome you guys into another episode of the I Am the Possible broadcast. Listen, as I always say, whether you are live or on the replay, your presence is the greatest present you guys could ever give me. So thank you so much for rocking with me this morning. Guys, listen, I am so excited. I am so pumped, as I normally already am and always am. But today, guys, I'm even more excited because I continue, or I get to continue rather, on this path, on this road, on this journey of equipping and empowering you to finish the race, guys, to make that resolution, but to see that resolution come to fruition, that goal, that dream, that vision, that thing that is within you, to see that thing rise up and to be developed and to be expressed in this world. Now, I'm making a lot of noise this morning, and it's because I got some of my tools this morning. If you guys saw any of my posts and my promos this week, guys, you know that today we're going to be talking about my 3 principles of progress. Again, I just really feel led, man, to take from my experience as a runner, as an athlete, as a personal trainer, and really share with you guys these principles that I've picked up along the way, right? These life lessons that I've picked up along the way that have helped me to overcome a lot, get through a lot, and succeed in many ways. So before we jump into it, man, I really want to set the intention, and I really want to be clear about what it is that I am really doing, right, in and through these podcasts and these broadcasts when it comes to New Year's resolutions, right? And so I've got my phone over here to the right, and I just want to kind of refer to it really quickly. But it is really, guys, to prevent burnout, to prevent you being and feeling overwhelmed, right? Many times, guys, and it certainly has been true for me. Many times we make these New Year resolutions. We set an intention, a goal, a dream. We set something that we want to complete, something that we want to do. And we start off with high expectations, but then our experiences, they don't align, right? I developed this, I guess you want to call it like a phrase and thought and idea, but it's really been on my heart these past couple of weeks. And it's really helped to really trigger within me the desire and this passion to help to equip you guys through my experiences. And that is the degree of our disappointment. Okay. The degree of our disappointment. It is determined, right, between the distance, right, between our expectations and our experiences, right? The depth, let me say that again, the depth, the degree, the depth of our disappointment is determined by the distance between what we expect and what we experience. And I just want to throw my hat in the ring, so to speak, because right now there's a lot of content being produced. There's a lot of people out there producing content. There's a lot of people out there just really cheering people on and saying, go get it, be about it, experience your goals, experience your dreams, make this year the best year of your life. And they should be saying those things. There's nothing wrong with saying those things. But I've found that even in the how-tos, there are some psychological tools, psychological principles that I want to be a part of sharing and unpacking. And so that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to jump right into, and guys, listen, if you are on this live, always, guys, the Saturday morning broadcast, it is for us to chop it up. It is for us to experience one another. So please feel free to leave a comment. I'll be checking comments. I'll be dealing with the comments as I see them come in. If you have a comment, if you have a question, Give me that hashtag live, give me that hashtag replay. But whatever you give me, guys, just give me your energy, chop it up with me, join me this morning. And let's dive into this thing because I'm creating this space to be of a service and to be of a support. And, we just want to hold that space, man. We just want to be real about where we all are, about the things that we've gone through, the challenges that we all face, right? And we want to, really lock arms and to help one another to get to that next level, as we say. So let me go ahead and jump into this, man. Let me go ahead and share my screen really quick here. Let me get into this PowerPoint, man. That's the first thing that I want to share. And let me go back and make sure that I'm on this screen properly. All right, Paul. All right, cool. Got it. All right, sweet. I love the fact that I can now see whether or not I'm doing this correctly. First thing, guys, these principles of progress, AKA stop failing and start finishing. I want that to be the mantra. I just want that to be the idea, the thought. Stop failing and start finishing. I have been so guilty of starting so many things. I would take up the entire broadcast going through the number of things that I've started and stopped. I have found, as I say, finding ways to fail. I was an expert at it, right? And I am still a recovering, someone who just takes on too much, right? And again, this is all about preventing burnout, preventing you being overwhelmed, preventing you just taking on so much and not counting the cost and getting only so far and then failing, shrinking back, or giving in. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys again these principles of progress. If you're just now joining us, today it's all about you. It's all about your resolution. It's all about your year. It's all about your dream. It's all about your target. It's all about serving you the best way I can through my own personal experiences. And today we're going to be utilizing, as I always try to do, just a very practical analogy. And today's analogy is that of a runner, right? Many years ago, I became an endurance athlete, a runner, and I've picked up some tremendous principles that I'm going to share with you guys this morning. So let me get into this, man. So let me go ahead and click that first one. Okay, guys, October 29th. What is October 29th, 2017? Well, October 29th, 2017, let me grab this medal. That's the date that I ran my first half marathon, the LA Marathon, guys. And that is where during the preparation, during the training, during me, being coached and being prepared for this half marathon, this 13.1 mile run, I learned the principles that I'm going to share with you this morning. Okay. And so that was a very significant day in my life. It was the day that all of my hard work, all of the, as we say, blood, sweat, and tears, all of the pain that I had suffered, all of the letdowns and the disappointments, all of the doubting of myself, all of the, in my mind, quitting and then starting again, right? All of that internal turmoil, it finally paid off. It wasn't the run as much as it was the process. It wasn't the finish line, guys, as much as it was the things that I learned and picked up. Because what I'm going to be sharing with you today are things that I continue to implement. I continue to utilize. They're applicable, guys. I want you, if you're live or on the replay, again, leave me comments. Let me know when something hits you, when something stands out to you. Give me some hashtag love, whatever it is, right? Chop it up with me, ask questions, right? But guys, when I was going through this process of getting prepared for this run, these are principles that I picked up, life lessons that I picked up. Even my coach shared with me certain things that have forever changed my life. And I've applied them over and over and over to continue to see success. That does not mean that I don't see great challenge. And we're going to be getting into how to tackle challenges. But, I face the same challenges that you face, right? Same mountains that I'm climbing the same mountains that you climb. I'm just on the other side, right? I'm running the same run that you running, right? my feet hurt. My feet feel like they on fire too. We're all going through something, and I just love the opportunity to go back, reflect, and then release and to express some principles, some ideas, some thoughts that may be of service to you. Because what I found in that training for October 29th, what I found was that many times the thoughts of myself, the thoughts of life, the thoughts of society, they're not serving me. They don't serve me very well. And if I entertain them, if I buy into them, if I stick with them, then they're going to always sabotage me. They're going to always trip me up. They're going to always cause me to shrink back. They're going to always cause me to fail. And guys, we're making a resolution. We're deciding this year that we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We are going to finish. And so again, I just want to lay that groundwork. If you're just now joining me, what you see on the screen, to me, this is one of the most beautiful pictures that I ever found to utilize for a PowerPoint, because this tells everything. This picture it speaks volumes. The fact that there is a path and a road of life, a journey of life. And yet, if you choose to, there are also these lanes. There are also these numbers. There are also these elements of competition that we're going to get into. And so this, for me, was just such a perfect picture, and it really illustrated everything that I wanted to go through today. All right. Again, if you're just now joining me, what's around my neck, these medals, this is just like 3 of the medals that I picked up over on the couch. I've got maybe 10 more medals that I've picked up over the years. So I really wanted to wear these medals and show these medals, not to brag and not to show off. Anybody can run a race, right? But it is the fact that I'm speaking from experience, that I'm speaking from putting in the work, that I'm speaking from putting in the time, putting in the effort, right? Learning the life lesson, right? And then applying it over and over and over to see success in my life. If you guys have heard my testimony, you guys know the life that I once had and now the life that I have today. And I'm going to be sharing more and more of that testimony. But if you knew where I was, and if you know where I was, and you see me now where I am, it's because of these principles. Okay, so let's just jump into them, right? Let's quit talking about them and let's start talking about them. All right, let's jump in, guys. Number 1, resolution. And here's what I'm going to do, because these are getting loud. So let me transition real quick. And I'm going to take some of these off because I understand that I want to provide high quality production. And so that may become pretty distracting. So I'm going to move those out the way. All right. I'm going to keep one on just as a visual. Okay. All right, cool, guys. Check this out. Resolution. This is what's so dope about this, guys. If you made a New Year's resolution, I want you to know what a resolution is. At the root word of resolution, we have this word called resolve. Guys, to resolve something, it means to loosen, to undo, or to settle. I want you guys to understand that when you make a New Year's resolution, you are loosening yourself from something. You are undoing something in your life. Think of it this way. There are some things that have been tying you down, baggage that has been holding you back. There are some unsettled matters in your life that have been preventing your progress. I'm preaching already, man. I'm preaching already, right? Come on, guys. When you make a resolution, whatever your thing is, you name it, you frame it, you put it into your context, guys. Whatever that thing is for you, I want you to understand what you're really doing. You're not just coming up with some fluff. Oh, today, this year I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Oh, this year I'm going to start that new job. Oh, this year I'm going to do that new ministry. Oh, this year I'm going to, meet that new person. When you make a New Year's resolution, when you make a resolution, it don't even got to be New Year's. When you make a resolution, you are resolving to loosen, to undo, to untie, and to settle on something. It means that you are liberating yourself. You are freeing yourself from something that has held you back or held you down. This is deep, man. This is deep. That's why I have such a passion to teach and preach on this topic this year, because it's not a game. That is torment. It is torment to continue year after year after year. Say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this. I'm going to have this. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. And keep finding ways to fail. So my heart, man, in sharing what I'm sharing today is in some way, somehow, oh God, is there something I can say? Is there something I can share? Is there something I can illustrate? Oh God, speak through me today. Share something through me today that might encourage one, that might inspire one, that might motivate one to truly resolve, to truly begin the process, guys, of loosening yourself from something, undoing something, and settling on something. This is what a resolution is. And I don't think enough people break it down. I hear so much on the internet right now, and it's not bad. I'm not against it, but I hear so many people just go kill it. 2021, go get it, go do it. It's yours. You got this. That's all good, man. That's all well and good. But what I've learned, guys, what I've learned is that, like, you go to an event, or you go to some conference, or even virtual conference, or you read a post, or you watch a video, guys, motivation is short-lived. It is short-lived. You must have a plan. You must have a process. You must have structure. Success has structure. Commitment must be constructed. And a resolution, guys, it must have a resolve. It must be about liberation. It must be about freeing yourself. There is a process of freeing yourself, right? So, guys, I'll continue down this path, but I really wanted to speak to this because it's just not being talked about enough. What a resolution really, really is. Okay. So think about that. Keep that in mind. Whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, whatever you're going after, think of it in those terms. I am loosening myself. I am untying myself from something that has held me down or held me back from attaining my goal. You feel me? All right, let's keep rocking. Next one, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo. Principle number one. Principle number one, guys. Run or race. And I'm going to go back to my screen so I can see myself, so I can make sure that everything's still lining up perfectly. All right, cool. Again, guys, drop me comments. Chop it up with me. Holla at me. Holla at your man. Holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that you're in the building, man. Hashtag live. Hashtag replay. Hashtag anything that is applicable. Hashtag progress. Hashtag resolution. Hashtag God is good. Hashtag we in the building. Hashtag 2021. Hashtag Happy New Year's. Do something, say something, and we're going to have a moment for those comments and for some chopping it up. All right, guys, let's get into it, man. Principle number one, race versus, see, I'm all excited. Run versus race. Run versus race. What's the difference, right? What difference does it make? It makes a world of difference, guys. It makes a world of difference. Here's why. Consciously, and again, you name it, you frame it, put it into your context. I'm using my experience as a runner and the analogy of running as the something for us to draw from so that we can make sense of our resolution. Okay. Consciously, many of us are going out for a run. Subconsciously, many of us are in a race. Let that sink in. Come on, let it sink in now. Consciously, you're going out for a run. I'm going to lose. I'm going to keep losing. I'm going to keep using the losing weight analogy because it's easy to come to mind. And we're talking about fitness and training anyway. So it makes the most sense. Okay. But whatever your goal is, you use your goal. Okay. But consciously, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Right? Okay, cool. Subconsciously, I got to lose 20 pounds in like 30 days. Like right now, like immediately. What's the difference? Why is that important? when you're out for a run, your concerns are different than when you're in a race. When I was training for that half marathon, I would go out for runs. When I would go out for runs in my neighborhood or even at my children's high school around the track, I would often run in the morning. I cannot begin to, explain how beautiful those moments were. I was praying while I was running. I was talking to God. I was literally writing my book, What is Enough, as I was running. Like chapters in my book were just flowing to me as I was communing with God, as I was out there on the run. Here's the picture that I'm trying to paint, guys. When you're in a run, when you're on a run, it's just about you. You're flowing. It's a process. You're just going through the process. You're enjoying it. And you got you a nice little smooth pace. Pow, just like that. Pow. My trainer taught me just like that. It's like eating crackers, right? It's like picture having a saltine cracker in your hand. That's how my coach taught me, right? Coach Kyle Brown, shout out and salute to my man, the greatest trainer, the greatest running trainer in all of the world. Okay. He is the GOAT in my mind. Okay. You can challenge it if you want to, but shout out and salute to my man, KB Kyle Brown. He trained me for this half marathon. He trained me, act like you got some saltine crackers and you're just feeding yourself, right? Boom, that's your pace. Pow, pow, right? Check me out. Boom, I'm going. Keep your elbows tight to the side. What I'm sharing is when you're out for a run, you're enjoying it, man. You're enjoying the process. Boom, you're just out for a run. You know that you're going to get there 3 miles a day. Cool, I'm going to get there. 4 miles a day. Yep, I'm going to get there. Now, this is not don't do your, best pace, your best run. This does not mean don't try to improve. Heck, the whole broadcast is dedicated to progress. Okay. But the point is mentally, psychologically, you're in a different space because you're out for the run. So it's about you. It's about your evolution. It's about your growth. It's about your development. And you have to flow through your stages. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but you have to be about where you are in life and about sticking to what it is that you're loosening yourself from. And loosening takes a process. If you are in a race, not on a run, guess what? A race has a winner and a loser. Introduction competition. Introduction of letdown and deflation. Introduction of they got mine, they're going to get mine. Where is my, how far back am I? How ahead is he? Where are they? Didn't she say, wait a minute, but hey, judge, didn't you? But wait a minute, I crossed first, right? But hey, can she get? But how come I got the medal? But how come he? See, you take on too much. This is not to say that you shouldn't get into a race. Here's my point: know the difference. Know what you're in. Whatever your goal is this year, know what you're in. If you are saying for yourself, "I'm going to lose 20 pounds," I am going to lose 20 pounds. Guys, it's your run. Now, if you sign up for a lose 20 pounds in 30 days competition, now you're in a race. Neither is good, neither is bad. But I want to bring awareness so that it equips and empowers you to know the difference. Why is that important? Depending on the one that you're in, you need to train as such. You need to be concerned as such. You need to be equipped as such. You need to be thinking as such. You need to be moving as such. Again, some of us are consciously on a run, subconsciously in a race. When you are in a race, you are concerned with what other people are doing. You are looking to your left, you are looking to your right. And if you're a Bible person out there, you're a person of God, you know what I'm talking about. He said, don't look to your left, don't look to your right. Keep your eye focused, man, straight ahead. You feel me? So guys, knowing which one you're in makes a huge difference. So are you on a run or are you in a race? Depending on the one that you're in, you're gonna bring more things into your psychological space, and they're going to either weigh you down. Again, you're trying to loose yourself from things that weigh you down and tie you down and prevent your progress. Before I go on, I'm gonna say what's up to a few of these people that's jumping on this morning. What's going on, my man Rich? Morning, my brother. What's happening with you, man? Thank you so much for rocking with me, my man. PI in the building. Poetry at its best. What's going on, brother? Good morning to you as well. Michael is in the house. I need to catch the replay. No problem, my brother. Anytime. That's why we do this thing live. It's there. It's in the atmosphere. It is out there. Do your thing. You said, dang, lots of medals. Yeah, man, I got a ton of them, man. I couldn't wear them all, man. I couldn't wear them all. It'd be just too clanky this morning. Mike says, resolve, loosening, and undoing. Yes, that is key. That is key, guys. My man Mike says, praises. Hey, man, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate your spirit, man. I really appreciate your presence in my life, man. Thank you so much. Lawana in the building. What's going on, sister? From another mister. He says, yep, you're preaching already. Thank you. You know how this comes out. You know how it comes out. XC Marie, my sister, what's going on? What's happening? She says, I am the possible. Yes, I am. And yes, you are. Yes, we are the possible this morning. My man Rich says, change for the better. Yes, amen. That is what we're doing. And Pi says, I am the possible. Thank you guys, man, for your comments. I really do appreciate that. Cool, man. So let's jump into this next slide, to this next one. Again, guys, continue with the comments. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, anything, guys, let me know. If this mic is too hot, too loud, right? Let me know. Whatever it is, man. I just want to be of service to you this morning. Want to rock with you. Let me get back here to these slides. All right, cool. What is enough, guys? What is enough? So I want to stop sharing for a moment, and I want to go back here. Let me see, just working this technical logical stuff here. And I want to go back to the other part of my screen, my Windows app, and I want to bring up the book. And I just want to share with you guys a piece of this book when it comes to being enough in this competition, guys. We just kind of enlarge the screen. So this is taken from my book, What is Enough? If you've gotten the book, you've probably already read this section. But if not, what are you waiting on? Go get that, Amazon. All right, check it out. Someone's trying to take your spot on the team. Someone's after your position at work. Someone's outworking you. Those are just a few examples of the crap society sells us that causes a competitive spirit. Are they true? They could be, but so what? You were not or weren't born to compete. You were born to cultivate from within. Why be forced into pursuing more than you actually desire? Why allow society to up your ante? I want to pause right there. Are you someone who has told someone your dream, your resolution, your goal? Maybe you shared it as a post on Facebook. I don't know. Instagram, whatever. And either someone or that little voice within is trying to up your ante. Oh, you gotta, okay, well, you're gonna do that. Well, you gotta do that like ASAP. Or you're gonna only lose 20. How come you don't try to lose 25? Right? Again, guys, put it in your framework. But it's this idea of those outside voices, or even that inner voice, that ego, telling you that you need to do more, give more, have more, be more than what you've decided on. I want you to own your resolution. I want to encourage you to own your resolution. This is yours. At the end of the day, this is your life and you have to live it. People will gas you up, but they don't have to live your life. Just as a side note, man, like, we have to be very careful with the advice that we allow in, because at the end of the day, those people are not responsible for what we have to go through. Like, when I signed up for this race, I did not expect my wife to run 3 miles a day. At one point, I was running 4 miles a day. I didn't expect her to run my miles. Why? I signed up for the race. This wasn't for her to do. Right. And so many times people are putting on you, man, you need to be running 5 miles a day. Okay, well, get out there with me then. You see where I'm going? Don't let other people, don't let society, don't let TV, don't let stars and movie stars and athletes and all these other people or commercials gas you up and then get you into this competitive space that burns you out. Again, guys, if you're just now joining me, everything that I'm sharing today, these three principles of progress, everything is targeted toward burnout prevention, overwhelmed prevention. I don't want that for you. I've suffered that enough. And if I can be an advocate, if I could be, what they say, a agent of change when it comes to us being under this unseen, undue, unfair pressure from society that has no place in our lives, preventing us from actually gaining any true progress because we run so freaking fast that we're out of breath. We're huffing and puffing, and we can't hardly breathe, and we're passing out because we don't have the oxygen of life flowing through us, because we are not setting our pace properly, because what they said and what he said and what she said got us all gassed up, guys. Let me continue here real quick. Just because the Joneses have something, it doesn't mean you need to keep up. And what has keeping up ever gotten you? No, really. What does keeping up mean in the first place? Who made up these rules? Have you ever questioned that? Where do these rules of life come from, guys? When you're thinking about your resolution, when you're thinking about your goal, how much of that is you and how much of that is other people? If there was a percentage, how much of that is you and how much of that is being influenced and being egged on by other people who are not responsible for it and who don't got to pay the cost for it? Okay. Let me get back. So who made up these rules? Who's calling all these shots? And at the end of it all, where's your happiness? Which is what we're after anyway, right? Are you starting to see what I'm saying? We're playing a game we didn't sign up for. Our very society is passive aggressive, pretending like it's doing us a favor when all it's really doing is dangling a carrot in front of us that we don't even really want it. It's only because it appears to be the only food available. Guys, I want to stop sharing that. And I really want to, again, let that sink in, guys. That passive aggressive society that we often find ourselves living in. How much of your goals, how much of your dreams are really you? As you are going out for that resolution, as you're going out for that thing that you're believing for this year, really do some soul searching. What does it mean to you? And how much of it is actually yours? And how much of it is being influenced and being pressured by other people? All right, let's move on. All right, here we go. Let me go back over here and share my screen. Let me go back over here and make sure we're sharing. All right, perfect. All right, guys, another principle coming up. Oh, I love this one. The Evo versus the ego. Guys, if you're pen and pad, write this down, screenshot it, get it in your mind, guys, because this is this is a big one, guys. The Evo versus the ego. Real short. Evo is evolution. We're all evolving. We're all going from stage to stage, level to level. As believers, we say from strength to strength. We're all leveling up in some way. We're all, moving and flowing, and we're evolving through stages. The ego says we don't have time for all that process stuff. We don't have time for all that. You're at this stage for a little while and then get mature and then improve and then get better and then perfect that level. No, the ego says level up. And I always say, you might want to master the level that you're on. Some of us are trying to level up to level 10 and we haven't mastered level 2. Well, in the same way, we could set such a lofty goal that it freaking overwhelms the central nervous system. Literally. This year, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 50 days. Is it possible? Yeah, it is. But again, we have to realize if we're in a run or if we're in a race, because again, guys, it's all about how we train, how we prepare, and what it is that we're really after. What is the true goal? So guys, this Evo versus the ego, expecting a breakthrough expecting progress, but experiencing burnout. It is so, so important that we understand that everything happens in increments. Everything happens in a systematic growth cycle. Everything. That is not to say, hear me clearly, that is not to say that you can't do what you set out to do in the time that you set out to do it. My goal, my intention this morning is to simply say, for those of us who have unrealistic expectations, we have set more on our plates than we can eat. We've taken on too much. We've listed not one resolution, but 20 of them. Hear the spirit of what I'm saying. Go after what you go after. Do you? You feel me? What I'm saying is that if you're listening to me, if you come to me, if you're watching this broadcast, I'm going to always care about you, the person, more than I care about the outside thing that you're after, because I believe that you are the outside thing. I am the possible, guys. It's in the title. You are that which you are becoming. You are the goal. You are the dream. You are the vision. You are the target. You are the finish line. You are the mountain that you were created to climb. You are the ocean that you were created to swim. You are. So ultimately, we have to realize that these things that we're going after on the outside, they're just something that we're trying to feel on the inside. And the ego will not help you, but evolution will. Understanding that I am something that evolves, something that grows in stages, something that matures in stages, something that moves forward in stages. And all of that weaved in is grace and mercy. And we're going to get to that in just a moment, guys. This idea, this concept of giving yourself grace, giving yourself mercy, right? Giving yourself some time, man, and loving and appreciating and accepting yourself at whatever stage that you might find yourself at. So on this one, I want you to understand something, guys. We must count the cost. Now, I told you that I would be reflecting on my experience as a runner. When I was running this right here, this one here, this half marathon, I mean, this one taught me so many great lessons. And one of the lessons that it taught me was for me to count the cost. Counting the cost. Guys, I needed to expect that the weather could be anything, because the day that I ran, October 29th, 2017, the day that I ran this half marathon, guess what? It was dark outside, cold outside, drizzling outside. I don't know if you ever gone for a dark, cold, drizzling run, but it ain't pleasant. Okay. Listen, when they gave me, so like when you sign up for the race, right? When you sign up for the race, online, they'll send you like this little PDF, right? This little PDF of the track, right? I wish I had it with me. But it's like this little track, right? Or a route rather. And it's marked and it shows you the entire route. So this particular marathon was ran in downtown Los Angeles. So it gives you the map of downtown Los Angeles, and it has this line, this little red line, and shows you your route. Well, that piece of paper is flat. You feel me? It's flat. I don't know if I got a piece of paper. Listen, man, I'm just using a piece of paper. That thing was flat. You feel me? Flat. Flat. When I'm looking at it, it's flat. The PDF is flat. The route is flat. Everything is flat. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yep, we're gonna do some flat stuff. Something told me, must have been God, must have been the spirit, whatever. Something told me, Treveal, and this was like maybe days or so beforehand, go outside, and run some uneven conditions, some uneven streets. But it was at the tail end of my running, right? So I didn't get in a lot of it. Well, if you know anything about downtown Los Angeles, ooh, buddy, downtown Los Angeles is not flat. Ain't nothing flat. Not only are the streets all busted up and kind of curvy, they got some hills, man, through downtown LA. What's my point? Why am I sharing this? Because there were points in that dark, cold, drizzling, wet environment There were also some hills and some crazy winding turns and some elements that I had to get involved in. So we must count the cost. See, evolution says I'm going to count the cost. I'm going to be aware, okay, there's going to be some hills. There's going to be some fatigue. There's going to be some soreness. Guys, 2 weeks out from me running this half marathon, 2 weeks out, I injured my hamstring. I had never pulled my hamstring. I didn't know what pulling a hamstring meant. But me and Kyle, we went up to the track, just like the one that you see on the screen, and we were doing sprints. We were just building conditioning. And he said, pow, go. And I took off like lightning, boy. I took off. I was boom, halfway, into the run. I heard it. It sounds like this, just like that. You hear it and you feel it, and it's like, oh, the world just stopped. I don't know if you've ever pulled your hamstring or not, but the world just stopped, right? The world stops. You run over in the grass, you lay down, and you're just like, my goodness, what just happened? Wasn't cool, man. Wasn't cool. Now, I didn't pull it like all the way, but it was enough for me. Like, my first time, it was enough for me. So I strained the ham. And so going into the race, guys, what I'm trying to get across is, when you set your goal, when you set your resolution, understand that there's going to be the pulled hamstrings of life. There's going to be, on those hills I was running, my calves were getting so tight. There's going to be some tight calf moments. That rain that was coming down, there's going to be some wet and drizzly moments. That darkness, there's going to be some dark moments. That cold air that was blowing against me through these big old skyscrapers in downtown LA. Yeah, there's going to be some moments where that wind is going to blow real hard, man. These are all elements of your evolution. These are all elements of your evolution, and we just need to be prepared for them, know them, and expect them. Here's my point. Because I expected them to some degree. It wasn't that I didn't want to quit, because there were times that I did. It wasn't that the internal conversation was the most positive, because sometimes I was cussing inside, right? Because them 13 miles will test you. Remember, guys, and I don't know if I shared this before earlier on, this was my first major run. I saw this on the internet. I signed up for it without ever even having a trainer or training. I didn't have a running lifestyle prior to literally paying for this half marathon. Let that sink in. I paid for the half marathon before becoming a runner. I was no runner. It was just something that just triggered within me. Like, man, yeah, I want to do this. And then I became a runner, right? Then I got the coach and, got everything. But guys, evolution versus the ego. The ego will tell you, yep, you're cramping up. Yep, your calves are hurting. Yep, you're out of breath. Yep, it's cold, it's wet, it's dark. Man, beat the next person in front of you. I mean, come on, kill it. Let's go. Your time, you're lagging behind. What are you doing? It's just this idea that you're never doing enough. That nothing you do is ever good enough. That if you are losing 20 pounds and you lost 2 pounds in 2 weeks, the ego is saying, only 2 pounds. Oh, are you serious? You should have been losing 5 pounds, or you should have been losing 10 pounds by now. Evolution says, you know what? Thank God that I lost 2 pounds. Thank God I've made progress. Okay, guys, I've belabored this point long enough. Let me go to this next one, guys. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, guys. Give yourself grace. And if you guys are leaving any comments, let me check back on the screen, because I want to make sure that I say what up to anybody. Okay, no more comments over here. Let me go back to my banner. All right, I'll go ahead and kick in that banner real quick, let y'all know about that I Am the Possible podcast that is there. Again, guys, if you're rocking live or on the replay, hashtag it up. Hit me up with any questions or concerns, anything that you guys want to share. I would love to interact with you. Okay, guys, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. There's levels to this. There's levels to you. Guys, when I was running that half marathon, I forgot who came in first place. It was a gentleman. But I know he did it in like an hour. Like he ran like 13 miles in like an hour. It was like an hour or something. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. But guys, this was my first run. This was my first major run, rather. I had ran some 5Ks and some 10Ks prior, but this was my very first like major run. And so when I say give yourself grace, there's levels to this. There's levels to you. What I mean by this is this is my first half marathon. I promise you, the guy that came in first, that wasn't his first. I promise you that he had been running for some time. I promise you that he was either sponsored or he was just a way more seasoned athlete, or he had been doing this circuit for years, or perhaps he was even doing it just for more times that year, because with these runs, you can sign up for runs. There's no limitation. You can sign up for a run literally almost every weekend of the year. There's a half marathon or a 5K or a 10K, pretty much, just like year round. And so that's why I posted yesterday that I just can't wait to get back, because I enjoy running, especially running with the family so much. But give yourself grace, guys. How dare I compare myself, a first time runner, to my man who ran 13 miles like in under an hour and a half or so. Sometimes we set resolutions. Sometimes we set goals. Sometimes we have a dream. Sometimes we have some sort of ambition. And I think everything keeps coming back to this spirit of competition. It's so prevalent in our society. It's so prevalent. And so almost every one of these principles keeps finding its way, gravitating back to, don't get caught up in competition. Don't get caught up in competition. See how on the screen you have a lane? You know how we say, stay in your lane. Give yourself grace. There is levels to this. There's levels to you. If this is your first goal, you say, you know what, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. Guys, give yourself grace to lose that 20 pounds this year. Give yourself grace to lose that 20 pounds no matter how long it takes. Earlier this morning, when I was recording my podcast, this idea came to mind. Which is better? To set a goal to lose 20 pounds, let's say in 30 days. Let's just say, this is just an example. I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 30 days. Day 30 comes and you've lost 19. Is it better for you to say, doggone it, I said I was going to lose 20 pounds in 30 days. Day 30 has come. I didn't lose my 20. Hell with it. I quit. I'm out of here, and resort back to what you've always done. And then you pick back up all the weight. You feel horrible about yourself. And you tell yourself some story, some narrative about, I'll do it next year. I'll do it later on this year. I'll get around to it. And you play that game. Or is it better to say on day 30, wow, I've lost 19 pounds. I'm going to go another day, another 2 days, another 7 days. And in a few more days, let's just say 33 days, you hit your goal. Did you hit your goal in 30? Nope. Did you hit your goal in 33? Yep. Did you hit your goal? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Remember, guys, these 3 principles of progress, it's always focused on how we can stop failing and start finishing. Emphasis on finish. Emphasis on finish. See, not finishing is conducive to so much psychological warfare, so much psychological pressure, so much psychological garbage, so much psychological baggage. In my opinion, it is better to extend your dates, to extend your timelines, to extend whatever time frame you give something, and to stay the course, than to say, I didn't do it in the time I expected, so this is reason to quit. That's my opinion. You don't have to take it. That's my opinion. All right, guys, check this one out. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one here. And I really want to dive in. This is the last principle, guys. This is the last principle. Principle number 3. Focus on your feet. Focus on your feet. What do I mean by that? Feet represents progress. If you're walking, what are you walking with? If you're running, what are you running with? If you're climbing a mountain, what are you climbing with? If you're kicking through a wall, what are you kicking with? Feet always represents progress. Even the Bible talks about blessed are those who are the peacemakers. Blessed are those, you have these beautiful feet, as the Bible describes it. The peacemaker has beautiful feet. Why? Because this person is moving and traveling and going out to spread and to give the love of God, the peace of God. Focus on your feet. Guys, there is a pace for your prize. What's your prize? One of the things that I learned when training for this half marathon was that you can pick a pace. And I've actually passed this principle on to some brothers that I really love and care about. There is a pace in running that you can attain, and you feel like you can run forever. It feels like you can run forever. If you are a runner, there is this zone that you get in. There is this rhythm, this cadence that you get in, and you just pow and pow and pow and pow. And it's like you don't want to stop. I'm telling you, it is the most surreal, but it is the most, it's like a sanctuary. It's true serenity. It's a high, right? It is something phenomenal. This pace that you get in, that your body and your mind, you are clicking at such a pace, and it's not a fast pace. It's a very moderate pace, but it's smooth, and you going, dude, and you going, girl, and you just don't want to stop. There is a pace for your prize, the prize that you're after, the goal, the dream, the resolution, the thing that you want so bad. There is a pace in which you can find and you can get into. There is a rhythm of life that you can get into that where the ego doesn't have to evade and doesn't have to come in and say, pick it up, go faster, run harder, strive, get it, grind. Shut up. I'm in my, as we say, lane. I'm in my, as we say, zone. And I'm keeping my pace, man. I'm keeping my pace. You ain't going to talk me out of my pace. You ain't going to pressure me. Hashtag, don't pressure me out of my pace. If you live with me, come on, somebody give me a hashtag. Don't pressure me out of my pace. I'm going to keep the pace. Hashtag, keep the pace. Set the pace, man. You'll get there if you set a pace and you stay within that pace. Focus on your feet. Guys, like I said earlier, when I was running those 13 miles, so many challenges, psychological challenges, physical challenges. But my coach, Kyle, taught me to chunk it up. Chunk up the challenge. If you are a writer, write this down. If you're taking note, write this down. Chunk up the challenge. I'll say it again. Chunk up the challenge. Because I promise you, whatever your resolution is, your goal, your dream, your ambition, whatever it is a change. Remember, the resolution, you are untying, you are undoing, you are liberating yourself from something holding you down or holding you back. So it is a change, and all change will be met with resistance. Guys, get that. You're dealing with a change, an adaptation in your life or in your physical body, and it will be met with resistance. Life is going to test you. Life is going to say, oh, you really want that? No, you're not going to have that. You're going to stay right where you are. How do you get beyond that? By understanding how to chunk up the challenge. Let me give you a very simple mathematical tool. You can apply this to anything, a project, relationship, physical change, business, whatever it is. Chunk it up. Okay, for me to run these 13 miles, guys, I said 13 miles. What is that? Well, see, these two Check that out. This is a 10K medal. I ran a 10K. Okay. And actually, both of these are 10Ks. But over on the couch, I've got some 5Ks. Okay. Start with the end in mind and work yourself backwards. I'm going to cross the finish line for 13 miles. Okay. I'm going to cross the finish line for 13 miles. But how do I do that best? Well, what is 13 miles? That is 4 5Ks. A 5K is roughly 3.2 miles. So I said to myself, cool, I'll run 4 5Ks, right? 4 times 3 is 12. That's roughly about it. And then I run an extra mile. Cool. I could grasp a 5K. I could grasp it. Now, a 10K, just for education's sake, a 10K is like 6.2 miles. Okay. So you could use the 10K as well, right? But I chose to use 5Ks, right? Because that's really what I used to really train. So 13 miles, that's 4 5Ks. What is a 5K? 3 miles. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take that 5K and I'll break it down to 1 mile. See where I'm going with this? What's the 1 mile? A 1 mile is, in my mind, I trained at my kids' school on their track, very much like the screenshot. The track looks just like that. And I remember 1 mile is going around that track 4 times. So I could see it. I could visualize it. I'm in the city of Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. It's dark, it's cold, it's rainy. My hamstring hurts. My calves are hurting. My feet are burning because the soles of your feet running on concrete, it makes your feet burn. All of these elements. I was sweating so much and the rain was coming down so not hard, but just consistently, that my cell phone got soaked. And so I had to cut it off because I just didn't want to ruin my cell phone and I couldn't listen to music anymore. So now I'm out there lonely by myself, so to speak, right? So all of these different elements are happening. I remembered if I run around that track 4 times, that's 1 mile. So no music, no friends, no family with me. They're at the finish line waiting on me. Shout out to my family, right? To my wife, to my 4 phenomenal children. Shout out to them waiting for me at the finish line. Shout out to KB, my coach. Everybody was waiting on me at the finish line. But again, this was my resolution. This was my resolution. I had to run. So I'm doing my thing and I'm visualizing to myself, yo, if I run around that thing 4 times in my mind, that's 1 mile. And you keep breaking it down and eventually you'll get to this last statement right here. All that matters is your next step. All that matters is your next step. I'm going to say it again. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I'm speaking to your heart. I'm speaking to your mind. I'm speaking to your soul. I don't know what you've decided on. I don't know what you're believing for. I don't know what you're working hard for. I don't know what's the desire of your heart, man. The desire of your heart. I don't know what it is. Because for some of us, this resolution ain't just like some fluff. For some of us, this is some life-changing stuff. For some of us, if we don't make this change this year, it might be too late. Focus on your feet. Establish yourself a pace and understand that all that matters is your next step. This medal, think of it this way. This medal, 13 miles to get this one. These 6 miles each. These 2 represent this one. I had to do many of these. Like I said, I've got tons of medals over on the couch. I had to do many of these to get this. It's a culmination. It's an accumulation. Guys, all that matters is your next step. Kyle taught me to look down at my feet and to look at the next step. He literally taught me that. He taught me how to hold my hands, how to keep them tight to the side, how to pretend like I'm feeding myself that Ritz cracker, that saltine cracker, right? That keeps me in cadence. He kept me how to keep the distance between my chin and my chest open so that I can get maximum wind and air. He taught me how to square my shoulders back and not to be hunched, not to be all tight and tense, but to relax. He says, relaxed and smooth is fast. caught my pace. I focused on my feet. I went somewhere else in my mind to that track that I could grasp. Because when I was downtown LA, man, when it's cold, it's dark, it's raining, it's wet, I couldn't grasp that finish line. But I could grasp, oh yeah, my kid's track. Oh yeah, just get around that track one more time, boom. One more time, boom. One more time, boom. 4, that's a mile. Let me get around it one more time, boom. One more time, boom. One more time, boom. One more time, boom. That's 4. That's a mile. Guys, all that matters is your next step. That's all that matters is your next step. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I don't know who I'm speaking to this morning, but all that matters is your next step. It's your next step, guys. These are my principles, man. These are the ones, these are the things that have gotten me, where I am. Let me go and make sure. These are the things that have gotten me to finish these races, that have gotten me to start things in my life, to create things in my life, to finish things in my life. I don't know how many times I can tell you that people have commented or, whether they just said it in passing, personal conversations, whether, sometimes you kind of put like surveys out there or even sometimes through my church, we'll do like an activity or something where you ask other people, what is it that you see in me? Right. Or like, what's my name synonymous with? And I don't know how many times I can tell you that my name has always been synonymous with passion, but then with discipline. And that's just the grace of God to allow me to go from where I was to where I am. My point in sharing what I shared this morning, these principles, is just to give back. It's to say, maybe you are where I was, and maybe I am where someone else used to be, and I can look forward to their example, right? I used to teach, it's always important to have someone in front of you that you can latch on to, right? And then someone behind you that you can pull, right? Or you can do it sideways, right? Someone that's keeping you grounded and that's keeping you moving and evolving, and then someone else in your life that you're helping to move forward and evolve, right? But it's this idea, man, of just taking from my life, taking from my experiences, taking from what I've gone through and what I've been through and what I've done. I didn't want to come on here and just be like, yeah, man, you should. Yeah, man, you gotta. Yeah, man, go get it. Yeah, man, go do it. 2021 is going to be, yeah. And then 2021 is going to be, yeah. And then da. All of that's fine. All of that's fine. But I'm really focused on serving out of my own life experiences, right? Go do it. Go get it. Have it. Grasp it. Right? Learn it. Understand it. And then communicate it, share it, pour into others out of experience, out of a depth of understanding, out of a depth of application, right? That's my heart for you guys this year. That's my heart for you guys this year. How much of my life, how much of my experience, how much of what God has graced me to go through and to overcome and to experience, how much of that can I pay forward? How much of that can I share? How much of that can I expose? How much of that can I create space for? How much of that can I, give out while continuing to learn, right? These books behind me, right? Continuing to learn, right? Continuing to grasp, continuing to evolve myself so that in the next year, I can do it on an even greater level, that I can do it with a even greater capacity, right? So I pray, guys, that you guys have heard me. I am at my time. I pray you guys have heard something that has blessed you, that has strengthened you, that has encouraged you guys to move forward. Exie says, right. Don't pressure me out of my pace. That's right. Don't do it. Exie says all that matters is your next step. For some of you guys, for some of you, that's it. For some of you right there, that should be your theme right there for your year. All that matters is your next step. The 13 miles might overwhelm you, but it's rare that the next step overwhelms you. Just one more step. Just one more step. That's all That's all it takes is just one more step, guys. That's it. So I'm starting to wrap it up, guys. Listen, I am loving you. I am praying for you. I am believing in you guys. This has been the 3 Principles of Progress by Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, founder of I Am the Possible. I am the possible. You are the possible. Author of the new book, What is Enough? Your self-worth specialist. And I say all of that to get to this point. But more than anything, forget my titles. More than anything, someone who desires to show up for you, someone who desires to serve you, someone who desires to see you be everything that's possible. That's it. That's it. That's it. To see you be everything that's possible for you. So I pray that today's information, motivation, inspiration, right, whatever you call it, it has helped. It has contributed to you being everything that's possible for you, and that you understand resolutions a little better. You understand your goals a little better. You're better equipped. You're more empowered to stop failing and to start finishing. Let me find my outro video over here so I can do my outro, man. I pray that you guys have a phenomenal Saturday. I pray that you guys have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. And I will see you next week. Until then, God bless. Peace.